Things aren't as they seem. It all looks fine from a glass screen.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Erica Vane with this new series that we will be covering on the channel. And since this is a new series, you might be new here. So grab a snack, grab something to drink, and get ready as I break down the reboot of Gossip Girl. In this video, we're talking about episode 1. So I am not really sure of how to approach this breakdown because the new Gossip Girl was giving me a lot of feels. If you're new here, I'm Erica Vane and I'm breaking down all the top, most popular, most commented on, and best story-driven series on television and streaming networks. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the tribe because I am now adding Gossip Girl to the fold as we are already covering All American, The Chi, Run the World, Grownish, and more. As I anticipate, this coverage will be a little bit different than my other coverage because Gossip Girl is just a next level series, a very different series, even different from the original series that this is based on or rebooted from. I was completely thrown topsy-turvy in watching episode 1 as a lot has changed. Number one change, we know who Gossip Girl is from the very beginning. In the original CW series, we do not learn until the very end of the series who Gossip Girl has been this entire time, and it's someone that we would have never expected. I won't spoil it for you in case you want to go back and enjoy that series as well. And I think that this big revelation up front is one of the things that I'm struggling with, having been a fan of the original series. And not that I think that this series should be exactly like the original series, but I'm structures, not because I think that the teachers shouldn't be able to mess with the students in this way, but mostly because I think that these are just not the right teachers for this school. These teachers are insecure, are self-deprecating, think that they don't have power when they actually do. And in all honesty, the easiest way for you to operate in this world without power is to assume that you don't have any. And that's exactly what we see from these teachers. And honestly, it's demoralizing to watch. Like, I feel bad for you. I'm like, you need to go get a new job because this is not it, honey. If you take a job at Constance St and you're teaching New York's upper echelon, upper elite, the wealthiest kids in New York, you have to be able to stand your ground to a certain point and not necessarily bow down or cower down to these kids. The adults in this series, or at least in episode 1, spent so much time complaining about how bad these kids treated them and how powerless they were to the actions and reactions of these kids. And I'm like, at the end of the day, this is real life and these are children. Yes, they're children of popular people, but no job is worth your self-respect and your dignity. The teachers that find out about and then decide to drop back into the Gossip Girl bag, reinvigorating this mythical figure from 9 years ago that originally was a blog that terrorized the students of this school and kept them in check. The teachers are led by Keller, and now they have started an Instagram page to do similar things as the Gossip Girl blog did before. And Keller is just... I think I really struggle with it because I just don't empathize with her yet. She's really crying about these kids not liking her blazer, and she tried really hard to look good so that they wouldn't tease her, and it gives me her reliving her childhood trauma. It gives me that she struggled in high school and wasn't popular as well, and then she decided to come and work at a school that is putting her right back in that situation, and she has yet to step into her own power as an adult, into her own intelligence, into her own, like, into everything that makes her great. She has yet to really figure that out, and you cannot put yourself in a situation where you are going to be tried or questioned in reference to your value and your worth. Not that I think that they should be able to do that, but you're walking into a situation where your value, your worth, all of that's going to come into question, and if you're already not sure about it, then you're already not setting yourself up for success. So I can tell that I'm probably going to struggle with Kate throughout this season just because I don't empathize with her. No, I don't think that the students should treat her the way that they do, but I also don't think that she should play the victim either. Now, one of the most interesting things that I do think is really, really cool with the start of this series is how they are putting the Serena and Blair character arcs onto 2 new characters with 2 new stories. So we have estranged sisters who have, or half sisters who are estranged, who have a mother, one of which the younger sister had never met before and the older sister had. had, and there's a whole backstory to their families wanting to stay very, very far apart. So we're definitely going to learn about whatever happened for the mother to, I believe she passed away, and these girls to be kept far apart. Now they're trying to maintain, at the beginning of the episode, they're trying to maintain an anonymity that they actually have developed the relationship this entire time. They have been talking and FaceTiming and emailing and things like that as they have grown, even though both of their parents think that they don't know anything about each other. And come to find out, Julien, the head be in charge at this school, the most popular girl, and yes, I love her hosties, y'all. I love her style, I love her look, I love everything about her. I definitely think that she's a conflicted girl. I don't even want to call her a mean girl because she has some mean girl tendencies, but I don't think that they're natural. I think that she is trying to stay on top, so she's doing what she feels like she has to stay on top, and it doesn't come naturally to her like it comes naturally to her two little raggedy best friends. Those two girls I have no empathy for, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that out the way right now. Her two little raggedy best friends, Audrey and Savannah, I'm not here for. I don't like nothing about them. I don't like that they're as cool as they are and they're as evil as they are. Don't like nothing about them. But I don't think that Julien is naturally as a mean girl, disrespectful as those two girls. So I'm giving her a little bit of empathy, but we're gonna talk about what happens in episode 1 because she is not completely not in the wrong. Let's say that. And then Zoya, our new girl to this whole entire world. She comes from not a wealthy background. Come to find out, Julien actually helped her get the scholarship to get into the school, to be able to afford the school. Zoya actually convinces her father to move them all the way from Seattle over to New York so that they can be closer together as sisters. Zoya is just starting high school and it's absolutely gorgeous. And this episode pins them against each other, or Gossip Girl uses their relationship, their secret, as one of the first secrets to break, and pins their relationship, their sisterhood against them, and starts to position Zoya as the next up HBIC. And it's so crazy because the way it's written, it's like they want us to believe that she doesn't want that. Like Zoya is the girl without money who cares about the environment and who's a really nice girl. But I definitely think that she has some things with her. She has a little bit of bark to her bite, and we see that when she confronts Julien in the episode. So she isn't completely like straight nice girl from the suburbs that doesn't really know anything. I definitely think that Zoya is capable of some of the same things that Julien is capable of. Heck, she has tricked her father into moving them way across the country so that she can do something, or she can go to school with her sister that her father doesn't even want her to interact with. And she lies beautifully because she does that with her father throughout the episode, and it doesn't come to bite her until the very end. She gets away with so much. So I definitely think that Zoya is not 100% squeaky clean either, which to me is the most interesting thing about the series. Now, episode 1, directed by one of my favorite directors, Karina Evans, gives us the New York City views. We get the whole lush lifestyle of New York's upper echelon posh elite. We get the Met Steps, we get the school, we get the fashion show, and I think that cinematically the series looks amazing. Absolutely 5-star chef's kiss. It looks great. I am just struggling with how they actually put the show together and the storylines. So we're going to see Zoya and Julien go back and forth, head to head. In episode 1, we get to see Julien's boyfriend leave her. Seems like he's also interested in Zoya, so that's going to create additional tension. For me, that's a little stereotypical, but it's going to create extra tension. Julien has allowed her friends to convince her to go harder on Zoya, which I think it makes sense. It's going to create more tension, but I hate that part of it too, because I feel like Julien as a character, I was expecting to be a lot more strong-willed, a lot more clear on where she stood, and not necessarily needing the validation of her little minions. So that's kind of rubbing me the wrong way a little bit, and I'm not looking forward to seeing these two little black girls go back and forth and battle it out, and seeing Julien attempt to destroy Zoya, when at the end of the day she really does love her, and you can tell that she really wants her to be there, but she also can't figure out what's more important. Julien cannot decide if family is more important than her image and who she thinks she's destined to be, and the value that she's placed on that. And I think that that's going to be a big part of her arc in this season, of figuring out what's really important, what really matters. Because maybe that's also another thing I struggle with. Everything that matters to these rich kids, except for Julien's boyfriend, who cares about the earth and people and humanitarian efforts and everything that matters to these kids really does not matter in the grand scheme of things of life. So it's so hard for me to empathize with them, because it's like y'all are really being a-holes over bags and brunches. Like, cut it out. Absolutely cut it out. I think the second most interesting thing about the series so far is how they're going to explore sexuality and the conversations around sexuality. So the popular friend group is some of the supplemental characters are experiencing things within their relationships, starting to find interest elsewhere, starting to get a little bit of gender fluidity, interest peaked in reference to being attracted to another person outside their relationship. And then the guy, I think he's also starting to develop feelings or be attracted towards another guy. And I think that that's going to be really cool to see how they actually have that conversation when that does arise. I don't think enough media is doing that. So a lot of the young people coming up might be having these same feelings, might be experiencing these same things, and they don't necessarily know what to do or see an example of how they can relate that to their life or get a little bit of advice. So I'm excited for us to see that conversation play out. I definitely think that that's the second most interesting thing that I saw in episode 1. And then the third and final most interesting thing I think from the episode 1 for me is how they're using social media and how they're going to dive into the world of social media and influence and the conversation that they're going to have around that. Julian's world is ruled by her following and by the influence that she feels like she has. Gossip Girl is now on social media and will be using social media to publicize their secrets, to terrorize these kids, to do different things. And I think that this is going to be a really great conversation around the positive and negatives that come with social media and comes with us living our lives online the way that we have learned to do so in most recent years with the rise of all of these social media platforms. All right, y'all, and that is my breakdown of episode 1 from season 1 of HBO Max's Gossip Girl. I think that moving forward, I want to be able to bring other people on and have a panel conversation about Gossip Girl because I really want to know what y'all think, and I would love to have conversations, not just tell y'all what I think about it. And also, we're going to peg ericavane.com TV critics to come on and speak with me as well about the show, breaking things down, diving a little bit deeper, giving us information that we also need to know about the new Gossip Girl world. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and join the tribe so that you do not miss when I upload a new video. Drop down in the comment section and tell me what you think of the new HBO Max Gossip Girl reboot. I'm responding to all of my comments and I cannot wait to further this conversation. I will be creating the Gossip Girl playlist so that you can check out all of my coverage if you ever miss anything or if you ever want to rewatch. And then if you love Gossip Girl, check out these 2 shows because you might really love these as well. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!